Okay, we are here together as Group de Bruges. That, please. Now, welcome everybody to the internal session of the Group de Bruges about the e-learning project about the common agricultural policy. This afternoon we will have really the first introduction of this course. The Group de Bruges is a European independent think tank who also is already for, I think, 15 years now working together about the future of the common agricultural policy. Today and yesterday we were together here in Hungary to talk about the proposals of the Commission. The next week we will communicate our comments, but today now here in this web stream session we will focus on the e-learning course who will be on air in a few weeks. But it's now to Franco Sotto, the Vice President of the Group de Bruges, to give the introduction on the e-learning course. Franco, up to you.
Thank you, Arye. Well, my task here is to present this e-learning course, and I'll do it directly by the screen using the presentation of the course. Let me just arrive to it. Here. Well, oh, sorry. No, I can't understand why is this. Well, this the history of the learning course is a long started some years ago in Italy with in Italian learning course financed by the European Commission, co-financed by the European Commission, and this learning course in Italian was very successful. We have had so far 300 persons have used this course, and after this successful experience that has been done by the online review Agri Region Europa, which I direct, we decided to propose the Group de Bruges to prepare a new version, totally new, and especially in English. As the course has a story, part of the authors of the modules of the course are the Italians, but we have also asked to other very prominent experts in Europe to help us to produce a fully European course on the common agricultural policy. I am very thankful to the Commissioner because he was so ready to introduce this course. In fact, if you look at this at the beginning of this course here, we have the web page where the course is distributed. There is the entrance, the screen with the Commissioner introducing this course. The course is made of modules. Each module is given to a different person. At the beginning, we have two modules. One here is dealing with the history of the common agricultural policy. It's beginning to the ELCAP of the common agricultural policy, and is has been prepared by Maria Rosaria Pupo d'Andrea, which is an Italian researcher at the National Institute of Agricultural Economics. The second module deals with the theory behind the CAP, market theory, regulation, and public goods theory. Is prepared by Roberto Esposti, that is an Italian researcher in the University of Ancona. The third and the fourth module are a presentation of the present CAP, first and second pillar, and the two modules have been prepared by Samuel Ferré, that he will present this module shortly after, and by me, the module on rural development policy. Then we have two modules that deal with what is around the CAP, the international relationship between the CAP and the rest of the world, and the process of decision making and the budgetary framework. I'm very glad and thank very much Alan Matthews and Emil Eriavets. The first is the president of the European Association of Agriculture Economists. The second is a member of the board of the European Association who have accepted to take this responsibility. We have then two modules. They are not going to be presented in the first wave because we waited for the 12th of this month for the the proposal for the new regulation for the CAP. But anyway, and the first module will present the new post-2013 CAP, and the 8th module will present the academic perspective on open issues, and will be Alan Backwell, former president of the European Association of Agriculture Economists, and now important European expert, to prepare this module. Well, finally, we have another module which will deal with which is having fun with the CAP, that will be prepared by Antonello Lobianco, that will follow me. Well, this is the structure of the course. Module different, the presentation, the structure of the module will my introduction will be done by Antonello Bianco, that is the person in charge of the management of the platform e-learning. This is a free access platform, open source, so it's very easy to use and to implement. Then will follow free presentation of free authors of the specific single module that I have presented so far, in order to show how easy and how interesting it is to use this e-learning course we have prepared. Well, then I give the micro to the next speaker, that is Antonello Bianco, who was in charge of the preparation of the platform and organization of the course.
I will not say actually much more. This course uses the Moodle platform. It is organized under a central column where there are the various modules like you just showed, and some columns on the right and on the left, but unfortunately here you cannot see because the screen has some limitation in the width of the screen. And in these columns, you have some additional functions to increase participation of the students, because a learning course is not just a collection of material that you produce, but is also some participation, should allow some participation on of the students or anyhow of the people that are attending the course. Just some stats that we collected recently. So in these very few days that the course has been online, we have about 30, and we already had over 1,600 pages views. That is, each time you view a page is okay. And if we see only the unique users reached in the total period from starting from 28th September till 9 October, almost only the of the commissioners has been watched 170 times in 1 week. Yes. can, no, I can see it. Not it. You can see that you can see participants and the view can what we page course is so allowing people that see the code made with the module number 4. Okay. For each participant to have a broad knowledge of their level of the topic in the module, we're gonna give a result of the test automatically. We are gonna see it how it's made in a few seconds. As for unregistered users, it's not possible for anonymous user to submit the test. So we show here just a screenshot of the test. Then we have one or main lessons. These lessons are are multimedia lessons. So there is both a PowerPoint presentation with an audio in the background. So it's like a university lesson where you can stand on your computer and listen the speaker about the topic. And we tried also, because it's always more important on mobile device. And this works also in mobiles. I don't know if you can see, but anyhow, is so more and more people are attending e-learning course on the way using mobiles, and this system is working also on mobiles.
So when you go away to the airport.
Exactly. If you have internet, you can attend the course wherever you are, not in the in the airport. And this is the core of the module. You can see different topics, and so you, differently from a PowerPoint presentation, you have also the options to go to the specific lesson, because maybe you are not interested in the whole package. The test. So we have the lessons. Then we have a reference on documents that refer to the topic, and we try to include in the platform. So times when you make a collection of links, well, the web is dynamic, so links can die. If we the documents inside, if we collect the documents, we are pretty sure that these links will continue to work in the future. And finally, you have assessment test where you can assess your knowledge on the subject. So how these tests are made? This test simple. You click, and if you are an anonymous user, you will be asked to log in to the course, or first to register and then to log in to the course. I'm sorry, it's a little bit slow, the connection. So I'm asked, okay, I'm entering with, no, I'm entering with my username because I'm not sure you are registered as a teacher. You are? Okay. Because when you log in as a teacher, you have the options to see other contents and to see also the analysis of. So you have an idea also, if you are a teacher, how the students answered your questions. This is in Italian. Okay, let's gonna switch in English. Because each user can set his language in his own profile. So you can, once you choose a language, default the course for it, not the content, but the structure of the course is offered in your own language. Okay. So you have the options. For each question, you have 5 options to choose. I'm not reading them, so don't blame me if they are completely wrong. Okay. And at the end of your submission, okay, I'm not reading it. Okay. They ask you this confirmation because you can submit the test only once. So okay, so he's gonna tell you which is wrong and which is right, and which is the point. Oh, there is one green. Okay, and it tell you how much score you got, so you have an idea about your knowledge. I think there is okay. The last things, the last point that complete each module is a questionnaire, a feedback that we ask to the students about the module itself, so we can improve it in further editions of the course. So we ask some basic questions about the module. We have this evaluation questionnaire, but the students can fill. It is very simple, I think, to be used from a student's point of view, and wanted design is something we wanted because it's very heterogeneous level of knowledge. Some people can do a lot of things, while in other contests, for other people, it was mandatory that the system was simple to use it. So this is what we have produced. Now there is online only the module number 4, and when will be completed? 2 weeks time, the whole course will be available for everyone.
The first now we present 3 different modules. Well, we just introduce them. Modules is longer than 10-15 minutes that each presentation has. But this presentation is made by Emil Erjavec, who is a full professor of agriculture economics in the University of Ljubljana. And well, he was the author of the module number 6 on the institutional organization around CAP and on the budget. No, it's open. It's already open. It should be open already. No. Sorry, I told you. But try it here. Bonfil? No. Let me try. You have found it? Yeah. Module 6. Yeah.
Dear colleagues, so in my lesson 6, we will try to present institutional and budgetary frame. The lesson is divided in two modules. Modules is divided in two lessons. In first lesson, we are talking about the CAP decision-making system, and in second, about the budget. So I will briefly went through the content of the lessons. In the first, we are trying to give some very broad and general descriptions of legal frame and institutions of the EU, and then we try to explain what is different related to the common agricultural policy, and we start with very brief explanation what is European Union, that is based on constitutional treaties, then explain about the three types of regulations, so and so on, so that the students are getting this basic information which are well known, but this is a lecture, we have to start from the scratch. So, of course, the same is then for different institutions. We explain them, but we focus mostly on the presentation, what is different in the agriculture. So to give some hidden or some, I would say, important elements which are not so well known in the general EU institutional presentations. So, for instance, how the Special Agriculture Committee is working, what is the role of working groups at the council level, or the level of committees when Commission is working with the member states or with the interesting parties. So all these things are described and presented, and of course the main element is to present how the whole decision making is in fact structured, where the proposals are elaborated, then how the papers are going to the Council, the European Parliament, and so on, so that the students could get the main impression about the decision-making process. And of course, we are giving also some small information which are written in the books, how, for instance, the system of decision-making is running actually. So, for instance, some informal principles like that decision makers are looking for policy window of opportunities, then how difficult it is to reach this agreement, how, for instance, all parties would like to have some win-win situation in the decision-making process. We are talking also about interest groups, about NGOs involved in the decision-making process. So this is the first part of DUL. In the second part, we are talking about the budget, about the financial frame, main characteristic of the budget, and then in the next stage we are talking about characteristics for the common agriculture policy related to the budget, especially what are the changes to the time. So we are starting with some general informations about the EU public finances, that the budget is only one, and then we explain also why the budget is relatively small, and explain about two main elements or two sides of the budgets, about the budget revenues, budget expenditures, and then two instruments of the EU budget. See details about the multi-annual financial framework, which is now in discussion, in negotiations, and of course the annual budget, which is established each year. So behind these general facts, we are giving also some data, for instance, about net contributions to the budgets, who is getting what. Here are the data about the net budgetary balance for all EU 27 countries. We see who is losing what and who is getting what. Why is this so important? Because of this member states just return mentality, which is running the whole procedure of the decision making. In fact, it's not, and it's making all reforms so difficult. And of course, we are introducing also some other issues like of course the cap problem and UK rebate. Then we are at the second level. We are talking about the cap expenditures, and we know that and explain that cap expenditures are in three big blocks: market interventions, direct payments, and the second pillar budgetary instruments, so the finance system for rural development. So we show how these three elements are changing through the time, from the 80s now to the new financial framework. This change from price support to the direct payments, and now the direct payments are changed first through the fiscal reform, and now to the new, will be changed to the new proposals. Of course, some changes into the budget debate are presented, especially we are focusing how different payments, or how relatively countries are getting different amounts of first and second pillar funds based on hectare basis, but we can show also GDP or others, and how this is making specific tensions, and how behind everything is this rigid and conservative mentality of the member states, where we can say that Reform Club is still a minority, so that the most of the present agriculture ministers in the councils are in favor of keeping the budget as it is, or to save the common agricultural budget. So we conclude our lessons with some discussion on future of European Union and CAP budget. We explained the proposal from June, and we finishing everything with some speculation about the outcome, where we conclude our lesson that probably that level at the end of negotiation will be close to the EC proposed level. Especially this is true. This could be for the first pillar. So thank you for your attention.
The next presentation will be of Samuel Fay. He is the coordinator of a French NGO. The name is Groupe 2013, Group 2013. He has been in charge of the presentation of the first pillar, the module number 3 in the course. Samuel.
Thank you, Franco. So this module number 3 is about the one of the CP. Is divided into 2 lessons. The first part, the lesson number 1, is about the market measures, and the lesson number 2 about the direct payment schemes. Here I will show some slides about the lesson number 2 about the direct payment schemes, given it's the bone of the current common agricultural policy. And in this lesson, we have following content. First, coming back to the previous CAP reform, with the background of the previous CAP reform from 1992, and with the Fischler reform in 2003. Then a presentation of the direct payment schemes. Thirdly, the different model of implementation of of the direct payment scheme. Some slide about the cross-compliance. It means the conditionalities, the environmental conditionalities, the different rules regarding the animal welfare, the animal welfare, and the other rules at the EU level. And then the second part of this lesson is about some figures and some facts about the distribution of payments among farmers and among member states. I can show some example now. And some elements about the limits and the future about the direct payment schemes. So some slides, for instance. Here it's a graph showing the current architecture of the CAP, and on the left you have the pillar 1 with 2 levels. On the bottom, the direct payment schemes, and on the top, the market measures in red. And on the bottom, you have on the middle a yellow arrow for the cross compliance. And on but pillar 2 is not in this lesson. If the current regulation speak about a single payment schemes, in reality, there are different models for implementation of the direct payment scheme. So it's an important element for a better understanding. We have a common agriculture policy, we have a single payment scheme, but we have different and various meaning to implement the direct payment scheme according to the member states. So we have, for instance, historical model based on the past, before 2002. We have can be quite hybrid or regional model, etc., etc. So it's important to see that the so-called single payment scheme it is not so single in reality. This table is about the cross compliance rules in clear the good agricultural and environmental conditions faced by farmers. The table lists on the left side different issue, different items or import for the payments of good agricultural and conditions. And it's important to see that in the current regulation on the middle, member states have compulsory standards, but they can also they may observe also the right optional standards. The standards may differ between the member states, and it's very important. In the next slide, some figures about the share of direct payment here in agricultural. This graph shows dependence with to subsidies, taking into account all the subsidies. The average level is about 40%, the average level of total public support in agricultural income. This slide also is interesting because it's about the beneficiaries, the single payment scheme. The fact that beneficiaries of the direct payment at the moment are not only active farmers, but other categories of beneficiaries and landowners, but also other categories that are not directly linked to agriculture. So many type of beneficiaries for the single payment scheme. Here is a table showing the distribution of direct payment according to the beneficiaries per payment. And this table shows that 84% of the beneficiaries received less than 10,000 euro. So it's 25% of the total. And we can observe that the current level of distribution of the direct payment per beneficiary is not equal. Here it's the distribution of cap payment according to the agricultural land, another slide. And here is per employment within the EU 2027. And this slide shows that the cap payments are very concentrated in member states where agricultural employment is the lowest, for instance. So the current single payment scheme is on one hand the backbone of the CAP, but the current payment scheme faced many questions about its future and its legitimacy, because, as many said, it's a scheme based on historical rights and not on current activities in many member states. So it's a huge problem for legitimacy. And this scheme it remains badly targeted, not only on active farmers. On average, 85% of direct payments goes to 23% of the EU farmers. So it raised the question, economic justification of the direct payment. What is basically the single payment scheme? Is it really an income support policy or not? And if not, what it is? Because the direct payment is linked to the eligible hectares, but in reality, with the decoupling system, farmers are not obliged to produce, but to activate eligible hectares, you know. So it's more an economic rent as it relates to agricultural activities of the past than a real income support related to current production activity. So it was just an overview of this part 2 of the lesson regarding the pillar 1. Thank you.
The module that still in process of preparation, because deals with the present proposal of new regulation that only 3 years ago have been presented in Brussels. This module will have also an interview with Mr. Tasso Saniotti, director at the DG-AGRI, but the process of the reform and the description of the detailed description of the proposals has been given to Andrea Bonfiglio. Andrea Bonfiglio is a researcher with the Associazione Alessandro Bartola, that is an organization at the University of Ancona that has produced the first experience, and his role was also important in preparing projects together with Valdato, with interpreter for the co-financement and approval of the European Commission.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Andrea Bonfiglio. I'm a PhD in agricultural economics and policy, and actively collaborate with the association Alessandro Bartola at the Technical University of the Marche. And I am one of the lecturers of this e-learning course on a common agriculture policy, and in particular I am responsible for developing a module 7 This module also will include an interview of Tassos Agniotis from DG-AGRI, which is the main objective of the module. But this module would represent the core of this learning course. The main objective is to present, to describe, to an in-depth analysis of the new legislative proposals that the Commission has put forward some days ago. So the objective is to describe the contents, main concepts of the first pillar, the market measures, and the new direct payment system, and the second pillar, the rural development policy. Obviously, this module is now partial and provisional, and it will be soon definitive. And which are the main topics that are treated? But this module will offer, first of all, an overview of the main stages of the debate, the long path that brought us to the proposition from the Commission, the new legislative proposal about the future agriculture policy. The next step will be approval of the regulations that have to be done by the end of 2013 in such a way that new ELCAP can enter in force. The objective is to describe these new regulations, which are the main objectives of the Common Agricultural Policy. We'll see that the objectives are the same as those that have been declared in the past Commission's paper that was published in November of 2010. We'll see that of the three scenarios that have been analyzed and assessed, the Commission finally decided to adopt an integration scenario, which represents a sort of compromise between the strategy of doing nothing and the more strategy towards the environment, towards progressive phasing out of direct payments. And the Commission justified this choice by saying that only this scenario is able to guarantee adequate sustainability in the long term for agriculture, for rural development. And the other objective of this module is to give information about the financial aspects of this new common agriculture, the proposed common agriculture policy. And we'll see which is the distribution between the two pillars. We'll notice that the distribution has been maintained the same as in the past. What's more, we also will note that there is a great effort of the Commission, in spite of all the pressure from lobbies, to better redistribute funds among member states in order to move some funds from the richest countries in terms of direct payments to the poorest countries, so as to cover partially the gap in respect of the EU average. And we in particular will focus about the first pillar on the new direct payment system after analyzed market measures. This system will replace the current direct payment system starting from 2014 with the objective to better targeting support and to better distributing support. And one of the main novelties is that this system is based on actors. And so there will be the hand of the historical model, though gradually. And moreover, we'll see that in order to receive the income support, the Commission proposes that farmers have to respect some minimum requirements in terms of amount of money, amount of direct payments in terms of area. And what's more, another point is that farmer has to be defined as active in order to receive direct payments. And another novelty is also the introduction of a digressive system in order to better distribute funds between beneficiaries, based on a progressive reduction and based on the introduction of upper ceiling. We'll see then the fact that direct payments has been packed in several components, in 6 main components, with the objective to render the common agricultural policy greener than the past, with objective to support areas with natural constraints, to support the startup of young farmers, to simplify the administration by introducing a small farmer scheme, and to maintain partially coupled the support in order to maintain the levels of production and the region. Okay, and we can skip this part, which is still confidential, and then there will be a part, an extended part of this module we'll see among the novelties that the axes have been removed, have been replaced with priorities, and we will see moreover that this policy will be coordinated within a more general framework, the common strategy framework, and that member states have to prepare partnership contracts. And we'll see then that two instruments proposed in order to implement efficiently and effectively the rural development policy, the performance framework and the reserve, and the respect of several ex-ante conditionalities. Moreover, we'll see the list of the measures. We'll note that the menu of measures have been simplified in comparison with the past. They passed from the past 40 measures to the current 25 measures. Then this module will conclude by underlining what is really new in this common agriculture policy. We reference in particular to the first pillar, second pillar. For example, the effort of the Commission, as I said, to better redistribute funds, or the unpacking of direct payments in order somehow to justify the system of direct payments, or the introduction of progressive reduction and novelty, for example, the replacement of axes with priorities, or an higher autonomy in expenditure distribution for member states, and more emphasis on innovation and networking and horizontal measures, or the introduction of a toolkit for the risk management. And this module, moreover, will underline what is not new, what has been changed in comparison with the old system. We'll see that the Commission decided to choose the road of the continuity by adopting an integration scenario. The fact that the two pillars have been maintained, that there is an unbalanced distribution of funds between the two pillars, and so on. And then we'll see also what raised doubts, which are the elements that should be better cleared by the same Commission, and during the next institutional debate, along with the other two co-deciders, the European Parliament and the Council. One of these elements is, for example, the apparent introduction within this framework of a sort of a super cross compliance. In other words, it seems from reading the text of the proposals that farmers, in order to receive at least the basic income support, are asked to respect not only basic cross compliance but also additional constraints, the application of 3 different agriculture practices that would bring about probably more complications against the objective, declared objective of the Commission of administrative simplification. And another aspect, for example, that's not clear, has been contested even during the official presentation of the proposals in face of the European Parliament, is definition of active farmers that has been defined too wide, too generic, little selective, and it's a definition that does not reflect, does not capture the essence of an active farmer. Another question is, for example, the overlapping of some measures. in spite of the declared objective of the Commission to maintain the two pillars, the measures, the corresponding measures separated, distinguished, in this framework that has been proposed, some measures seem to be overlooked. There are measures of the first pillar that are in the second pillar and vice versa. And this module will conclude with a question that probably everyone who is interested in this kind of topics would wonder, do co-deciders like these proposals? In other words, the co-deciders, European Parliament and Council, are really satisfied with these proposals? So we'll try to answer at this question. It's obvious that the debate will involve mailing the budget, and mailing the first period being the most substantial part of the CAP that is attracting main interest from both agriculture and non-agriculture lobbies. It's also true that this debate could also involve the second pillar, but it's true, it's certain that the final form that the CAP will take will be certainly conditioned, affected by the budget review, by the financial resources that will be made available to finance the common agricultural policy. I thank you for your attention. I terminate the presentation now, and I invite all those who are interested in this kind of topics to enroll to the course, in particular to follow these lessons. A course that will be available starting from the 1st of November of this year. So, thank you.
Well, as you have seen, the level of those lessons we have presented are first level of the university, more or less. We have referred to a student beginning the university. In the agreement we have had with the Commission, there is also a module 0 for young people that doesn't know anything about agriculture, Europe, and the CAP, and this will be implemented in the future. Well, the person in charge of this will be Bart Soldat, that is the secretary of the group. To him, the final.
Yes, my name is Bart Soldat. I'm secretary of the group de Bruges and the coordinator for this project. Yes, like Professor Sotte mentioned, also have a module 0. The working title. We will find another more catching name for it to attract the young population. And this is aimed at young people who are living in cities or in towns and who have little connection with agriculture, let alone with agricultural policy. And it is one of the objectives of the Commission always to make it a policy of the people. So it's not a policy for farmers, but it's a policy for all Europeans. So all Europeans should be informed about the content of the CAP. So it's an explicit objective of this course to also find ways and methods to reach these target groups. But we need, of course, a different approach, because this kind of high-level courses will not attract these people. So we are now high school between 16 and 18 who are doing secondary school training, following history lessons, following economy lessons, etc. So who have a general interest in the world, who are active on social media platforms, and we want to attract them starting from their world. So we have to put ourselves in the shoes of these people, what is of interest from them, and from then we can start a discussion on what is the CAP and why is the CAP important for you. And for this we are developing a specific module, and this will be ready a bit later at the end of the year. And we will announce it when it's ready. And of course also other people can do this module if they want to get a basic understanding of the CAP before starting the full course. So it can also be a first step to the course itself. And it will also run on a separate platform. Like I said before, the course, at least 6 modules will be ready on November 1st. So people that want to start on November 1st with the course, they can at least start with the first 6 modules. Like Antonello said, they have to register before being able to log in and to have their personal profile on the Moodle platform. And of course, because it's on the internet, it's unlimited access in principle, but there are some functionalities that require human intervention, especially discussion groups and some tutoring facilities. And for this, of course, the capacity is limited. So we say to people, register now. So send us an email. I want to do this course. We put you on the list, and then you are your place is being secured in the course. So you know that you can use all functionalities. So you can do that now, and already the first 60 people have registered in the last week. And they come from everywhere. We even have a veterinarian from Nigeria. So also to the outside world, there is an interest in what is happening in Europe, what are they doing. So it's attracting a wide range of people and professions, not only university students. There's also some material available in the form of brochures and posters, so people can take the posters and hang it in their office, in their workplace, or wherever you think it is useful to attract people to follow the course. The brochure can also be downloaded from the Group de Bruges website. And we are also quite active on social media like Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. So if you want to stay up to date on the progress of the course from now until November 1st, but also after, because new modules will be inserted on the platform, you will receive information through these channels. Oh, and I forget, important students, you can follow one module, even one lesson from one module, or you can follow the whole course. In the last case, if you follow the whole course and you do all the tests, and you pass all the final tests, you can get a certificate. This has not yet been accredited by official authority, but I think it's good on your CV if you can say, I followed this course with these leading experts and I passed my exam. So I think this is also important for students to be able to show this. And of course, the course is for free, thanks to the contributions not only by the Commission, but I should also say by the Fondation pour le Progrès de l'Homme, Charles Leopmeyer. Thank you.